Good morning, everyone. I'm going to tell you good morning because it's the next morning after applying the Gtechniq Crystal Serum Light. So this was my first time applying this coating. I stayed pretty late last night till about 11 finishing this thing up. So I just waited till this morning, the next morning, to make a video on it. But initial results are it looks perfect. It's so far the best coating I've ever used for sure, and I'm not sure how much you can tell of the results in the video. You almost have to see it and feel it in person, just how slick it feels and just how clean it just applied and finished up. So now I need to do the EXO top layer, and I may even do 2 coats of that. So I'm going to put it on a little differently this morning. Now the package, whenever you get it, it does come with these little suede applicators, these little microfiber. Well, they're not suede, it's microfiber. I guess you could put your fingers in it and apply it, but they're just really small. Don't particularly like it. It does come with gloves as well, but I'm going to try this today. This is an Adams suede block for putting on their ceramic coatings, which I've used before and I liked. I had the foam one yesterday, and I should have, I do have it right here. So I got these on Amazon. It's foam glide coat applicator, and it did fine. It wasn't as smooth as I'd like it to be, and it squeaked a lot because the surface is very squeaky clean when you first start. So it's just kind of more of an annoyance of the sound, and so I'm gonna switch it up, and I'm gonna try this today, and I may just stick to these for the future. Versus, they also make a little suede applicator cloth that you can put on those foam blocks, but I don't want to hold 2 pieces of anything. So here's the product for today. Is the Gtechniq EXO version 4 or V4. I don't know if it's version 4, but it's EXO V4, and I actually have 2 bottles. So first, I'm probably going to take both of these bottles to do this truck. So the CSL, I had a 50 milliliter bottle, and I ran out of that when I had about 75% of the truck done. I'm not sure, maybe I could have put it on thinner, but one nice thick layer just worked well for me. And then I had another 30 milliliter bottle, a little smaller one, that I opened and used maybe just 20% of. So I have a 15 to 30 of the EXO as well, just the 2 different sizes, and I'm probably gonna take all of this because I'm also gonna be applying this more to some trim areas in plastic, like on the mirrors right here. So I'm sure I'll use a little bit more of it. Now it may spread thinner, I'm not sure yet, I haven't used it. So essentially the CSL is a wipe on, wipe off type of process. But to get longevity out of it, the more you could let it cure in the right timing before wiping it off, you get better longevity. So it's a big advantage to be indoors, and especially in an air-conditioned, dehumidified space, which is what I have, and why I waited to do this until I had the air conditioning set up. And my new mini split, it's a Carrier, and it's working pretty awesome because it's a cool 67 in here right now this morning, and the humidity's like 40%. So it allowed me to let that coating sit a little longer on the paint and kind of watch it and then wipe it off and not get any high spots. You know, it didn't cure too much, in other words. So it also allowed me to do a bigger panel at one time. I could almost apply it to the entire door, probably 75% of the door, before starting to wipe it off. So we're gonna see how the EXO does as well. So I'll film some of that for you. Again, I forgot to grab my microfiber towels. Let me grab that. So, all right, so I just have a couple of microfiber towels, these coating removal towels I bought from Obsessed Garage. I like $1 a piece, and I just throw them away, and they're really high quality, nice towels. So I'm gonna put my gloves on and get things started. I'll film some panels for you, and then I'll finish up the whole vehicle and do a video at the end. So I'm excited for this. Let's get it going. All right, so I wanted to show you the process on this EXO application using this little suede microfiber. Now, I did use a little pipette dripper for the CSL. This one comes with, it's like a little drip top, so you just kind of pour it on there, so I'll show you. And this is, I tested a spot on the roof already, so I hope you can see that. So I'm just gonna drip some of this on there. Now this EXO goes a lot further, and this applicator is light years better. But you might not be able to see it on there. And this color, it is hard to see when it's applied, but it's almost like a little more greasy, you know. And then so it's made to go on the CSL, but it's almost like the CSL rejects it, which I guess it's supposed to, because it immediately starts sweating, kind of this coating. But it goes so much further. I could just spread it forever. And it does take a little more effort to wipe off, I would say, than the CSL. So I'm just going to do this whole panel. That's a pretty large section. And it only takes it just takes a little more effort because it's almost like it smears. But it is pretty forgiving. So it's more smeared here, I can tell, but it's sweating up here, which means it's ready to wipe. I can tell you though that this is just light years better than the Adams coating. And I'm a fan of a lot of Adams products. So it's gonna like smear to a haze almost that I could see when wiping. But then it wipes clean. So as long as you just keep wiping, I'm gonna flip my towel here in a second. It should wipe completely clean, not leave a high spot. So number one, it works 1,000 times better. Number two, it's just 1,000 times easier. That Adams coating, I felt like I had to wipe it on and immediately wipe it off before I would get, you know, any kind of high spots, because it would just be so hard to level and move around. This is CSL is much thicker of a coating, it feels like. So it kind of spreads, and like when you put it on, it almost like it kind of like levels itself. It kind of spreads out. Because when you put CSL on, you're gonna see it wanting to drip down the panel. But I can't wait to apply this to my M3, because this is just such a good coating. And I almost ordered the new Mohs Evo, because everyone's talking really good about it. But I know most professional detailers, this is their go-to. Any of the top guys you'll watch online of professional detailing, this is a very popular coating. And Topper amongst them, which I can see why. And really you only need, you could use CSL as a standalone. But the EXO just provides another layer of protection, more gloss, more hydrophobic properties. So you might get an extra year or so. And everyone says maybe 3 to 5 years out of ceramic coating. I think that's a little long. You can get maybe 7 to 9 with the dual layer ceramic coating with the EXO. I think that's incredibly long and unrealistic, even with the proper maintenance washes. But you know, if you can get a year or two out of a good coating, that's worth it to me. But so this panel's done, and I mean, you can see the gloss and reflections in here just from my lights, just how good this is looking. So I got to do this bottom portion of the door right here. And I think I'm gonna apply a second coat of EXO. So CSL, the coating itself, is not layerable. It's not designed to be that way. It's designed just for one good thick coat. The EXO is designed to be the layer on top. I already tell this 50 ml bottle is going to last a lot longer and go a lot further on here than the actual coating. So it's about a bottle, probably I'm going to guess a bottle and a half of CSL to 1 bottle of EXO, most likely. So I could almost immediately start wiping. Just kind of reconfigure my towel. The CSL, it seemed as though I needed 2 towels at once, kind of, because the towel would soak up a lot of that CSL more. The coating would, it would kind of take off a lot of the coating and soak into the towels, and I needed a second drier, cleaner towel to then finish it off. Whereas this one, I can kind of just use one and flip it. Now, one thing about the Adams coating that I noticed is I had to leave my garage open for me to do it, because the fumes and just the chemical smell of it was so strong. Whereas this, the CSL kind of has a little bit of almost like a WD-40 smell, but you can only smell it if you're like right up on it, if you actually smell your towel. Otherwise, I haven't really smelled it. It hasn't, you know, I feel like I was getting high off of Adams. This one doesn't affect me. So whatever they got in this thing, it's really good. And we are done with this door. So just letting you check it out. Looks amazing. And I'm gonna keep rolling on. So I'm gonna get to the next door, fender, hood, tailgate, front grille, everything. I gotta do the mirrors. So I'll come back with some more as I get through the process and start to finish up. So stay tuned. All right, everyone. So that's gonna be a wrap for the full decon process, all the way through 3 coats of ceramic coating. So I put 2 coats of the EXO just now, just finished my second coat on the entire truck. It took me a couple hours to do, so by the time I was done the truck, I could really start back over where I had started, because you want to give it at least an hour to cure before you put the second coat of EXO. You want to give it, when you put the CSL, you want to give it 3 to 4 hours before you put EXO, but I actually let it sit overnight for 12 hours. So that's your best bet there. The EXO, I really loved how it went on. It was super easy, more like a WD-40. It kind of smells and feels like almost like oily. When you rub it on, it kind of smears all over the place, but then it wipes really clean, actually. The main thing I was surprised with was, so I had a 50 milliliter bottle of CSL, and I went through that completely, plus about another 20% of a 30 milliliter bottle. But the EXO, I opened the 50 milliliter bottle, and so this is the EXO. And so I did 2 coats on the truck, if you can see how much I have left. So I used about 60% of this bottle. This stuff went very far, and I actually much rather this little suede applicator. And I even applied this to the trim. So all the plastic trim around the mirrors, along the hood and the windshield wipers, the bed rails on the top. So that's including applying it to that. So it went really far, and I used 3 towels in the process. The towels didn't get too saturated. They wiped really clean. It looks like no high spots, so I'm very pleased. But the results are, this might be the best this is the best coating I've ever used, easily, and this is probably the best result I've had when it comes to ceramic coating. It looks so glossy and wet looking, just that it's my favorite, and I can't wait to do the M3. It's so smooth and slick feeling if you come and wipe it. And I also put 2 layers on the piano black trim, so those look really good. Interior is all done, so I had figured it out. So I worked on this from a Wednesday evening until today's Sunday afternoon, and I have right at 30 hours total in this process. So that's not too bad, I guess, for this size truck. I had already put the tire gloss on. I actually did that before I did the ceramic coating, just because I didn't want I don't know, I didn't want anything to get on the coating after, I guess. I don't know why I just did that, but I even applied a layer of Adam's wheel coating to the wheels, and then I did some undercarriage spray all underneath to dress it up. Even cleaned the engine bay, and I finished that off with Adam's interior detailer, which gives it just a nice matte look and finish. So a lot of work put into this truck, but I am more than pleased with the result. I think the customer is going to be really happy. And so I appreciate you guys watching through this whole process. I should still have the C8 Corvette to do, a 2022 Corvette, which is hypersonic gray. So I guess it's going to be similar to this color. I'm sure there's some differentiation. And I still have to do my M3, including the wheels, which I just got some new ceramic brakes in for that car. So I'm going to get those installed tomorrow, hopefully. And then I'll be ready to coat those wheels. So I'll take you through that process. So again, appreciate you guys watching, sticking through. I'm going to be out of town a lot in June and July, so hopefully I have enough videos to kind of carry me over and provide you with some consistent content. So leave any comments that you like, subscribe if you wish, but I appreciate you sticking through the process. So see you guys soon.